Welcome back to the A Game. I'm Cody Bear.
I'm Ryan Hendricks.
I'm Hunter Boston.
App State got the victory this past Saturday against the East Carolina Pirates 43-28. How do you think the Mountaineers did in this bounce-back win?
It was really just an amazing game all around, especially from the fans' field. Got to be in the student section. It went great. And, of course, a nice win for the Mountaineers coming off of UNC. Really good way to get back in the win column for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I was super excited to be there in attendance, just having fun in the crowd and watching us come away with a great win. It was a bit shaky at times, but all that matters is that the Mountaineers came out on top.
So, Hunter, we'll start with you. What did you like that you saw from the Mountaineers in this game?
Ooh, that defense played lights out against ECU. Now, you might look at the score and be like, 24 points, what? 14 of those points ECU scored on offense. The rest, they got off of turnovers. So that's not on the App State defense. They played extremely well, especially after halftime in that second half. In the second half, 42 yards allowed to ECU, -5 rushing yards, 2 interceptions, 3 sacks, and ECU was 1 for 5 on third down. So that defensive game plan was amazing, and it worked perfectly.
You know, I liked our ability to be able to stretch the field deep in this one. I liked our be able to we were able to get a lot of home run plays in this, whether it was a deep shot to Caden Robinson or Nate Noel's run. Our offense was able to get points quickly, and that helped us out a lot when we were able to go down to ECU early, and that's what made us get back into the game.
For me, I liked a lot what I saw from this offense. Nate Noel is fantastic. He leads the country right now in yards per game with 145. Listen, we run a play that's an outside zone play. It's a run to the outside, and it's predictable because App State runs it all the time. But Nate Noel is so good at getting between those blockers. He makes small holes look like huge ones, and he takes it deep all the time. I know we have other backs that could use some time, use some touches, but right now, Nate Noel, for the first time in a few years, I think we need that bell cow back, a guy like Nate Noel who you consistently give the ball to, and that I think he's the guy. He's a perfect guy for this role. And then Joey Aguilar has playmakers on this team. He's got some really, really good guys from Caden Robinson, Milan Tucker. He's got Mekhi Jackson, who's really, really good against ECU. He's got Deshaun Davis, who didn't really get the touches against ECU, but you saw him in Chapel Hill's fantastic, and he's got the confidence to throw to them, and that's a huge thing for me. Aguilar threw a pick 6, and the very next play, he threw a 15-yard completion on the run to Mekhi Jackson. He's got the confidence, even after going through some woes, to make things happen. Now, I'll go with you, Ryan, first on this one. What are some things real quick that needs to be adjusted before the Wyoming game in Laramie?
We need to work on our turnovers. We can't just carelessly turn the ball over like we did many times against ECU, because when you're in a Rockets road environment like Laramie, you're not going to be able to come back from those like you did at home. So I just think that we need to get rid of those turnovers. Connie Roberts needs to learn to go down.
I agree with you there, Ryan. I think the interceptions and the turnovers got to be limited as well.
Okay, App State will play Wyoming tomorrow at 7 p.m. in Laramie on CBS Sports Network. Now moving on to the men's game. Let's look ahead to Week 3, starting on Thursday with the Giants and 49ers. Ryan, we'll start with you. Do you think the Giants have a chance in this game?
I think there's a chance, but I don't think they're going to come out on top in this one. Not because I think the Giants are a really bad team, because they really stepped up in the second half last week against the Arizona Cardinals, but I just think Brock Purdy and this 49ers offense just has way too much talent, and I think their defense will do enough to Danny Dimes just to slow him down a little bit, and I think the Niners will come out on top.
The Giants haven't really looked good in this early part of the season. You know, they got blanked against the Cowboys, got blanked in the first half of the Cardinals, but did come back and did a great job in that second half. But the Niners are just too good. I think the 49ers are going to win this one.
The Giants scored 0 points in their first 4 quarters of the season. Multiply that number by whatever you want. That's what they scored in the next 2. But Daniel Jones finally showed some big money plays. He showed a lot of heart against the Cardinals. But the 49ers, their top 3 team in the NFC, they're clicking right now all around. I think that they're a contender, so I think they're going to get the win. I think there's 0 chance that the Giants beat the 49ers in San Francisco without Saquon Barkley. Barkley's questionable. That's something to look at. Next up on the primetime slate is the Raiders and Steelers on Sunday Night Football. Hunter, we'll go with you first. Who ends up being over 500 after this game?
I just got a feeling this is going to be one of those old-fashioned football games right here. There's going to be a lot of defense, low scoring. You know, when I look at both these teams, first for the Raiders, their offense just has not got going. Josh Jacobs only has 50 yards through 2 games so far this season. They're going to have to get him going if they're going to win any games this year. I don't think it's going to be this game, though. I really like that Pickett to Pickens connection for the Steelers, and that defense looks for real, so give me the Steelers.
I'm going to have to agree with you, Hunter, because I think the Steelers really stepped it up week 2. Week 1, I wasn't really sure how the Steelers would look this season, but however, on that Monday night game versus the Browns, that defense stepped up. Brand new franchise sack leader all time, T.J. Watt. He's going to make a difference. He's going to give Jimmy G nightmares. The Steelers will take this one.
Listen, Kenny Pickett has been one of the most disappointing players to start this season for me. I expected him to take a big step. Instead, right now he has 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Najee Harris is a guy who's been on a negative trajectory over the last couple of seasons. Their offense has not been good. But fortunately for them, the people that are outscoring their offense is their defense. And that their defense, I think, is going to be enough to get them over the Raiders and get a win. Now, kicking off the Monday night doubleheader is the Eagles versus the Buccaneers. Hunter, we'll go with you to start this one. Which team will go 3-0?
I think this might be the best game on this slate just because of the 2 teams. The Buccaneers have looked a lot better than I personally thought they were going to do. Baker Mayfield has a great connection with that great duo of wide receivers, and their defense is super solid. With the Eagles, I think they're just going to be too much for the Bucs, though. DeAndre Swift is a dog running the ball, and then they have Brown and Smith as wide receivers. Jalen Hurts at quarterback. That defense is good. It's going to be hard for me to pick against the Eagles in any game.
I'm with you again, Hunter. I'm going to go with the Eagles here in this one, and I think the Bucs are going to be a bit overrated so far this season. The Vikings beat themselves a lot with a ton of turnovers week 1. And then week 2, they beat the Bears, led by Justin Fields, who's just not having a good season so far. The Bucs look good on the scoreboard, but I just don't think they're going to do enough to beat the Eagles. Give me the Eagles and Jalen Hurts.
The Buccaneers are a surprising 2-0 this season. As we mentioned, Baker Mayfield's been quite good. If you compare his stats to Tua Tagovailoa right now, I would say that Baker might have the better stats on paper, which is insane to say because of the talk that we've given Tua. We're saying Tua is an MVP candidate through the first couple of games, of course. Baker Mayfield, as far as stats go, they're right there with them. But the Eagles are a lot different than the teams they've played, and the Vikings and the Bears. And Philadelphia, they haven't been too electric to start this year, but I think these 2 teams are very, very different. The Eagles right now, they're a team that's 2-0, but people aren't impressed with their wins, to where they're saying they might not be the same team as last year. I think they're better than what on paper shows. And then the Buccaneers, they're 2-0 and everyone's surprised by it. I agree with you, Ryan. The Buccaneers are worse than what on paper shows with that 2-0 record. I think to start this Monday Night Football off, the Eagles are going to get the win. I agree with you. Now, to finish off week 3, we have the Rams facing off against the Bengals. Does Joe Burrow bounce back in this game, or do the Rams keep rolling? Ryan, we'll start with you.
Well, personally, I don't even think Joe Burrow is going to appear in this game. He got banged up last week, and we believe that's going to be Jake Browning starting the game out there for the Bengals. With that being said, I think the Bengals will look better than they did in the past couple of weeks, but I think the Rams are going to be too much to handle, led by the new blood on that team, Puka Nacua and Kyron Williams, both starting off this season amazing. I think the Rams are going to shock everybody and start 3-0.
Yeah, both of these teams are really surprising. The Rams are surprisingly good. The Bengals are surprisingly bad. Looking at the Rams, you said it. I mean, standout rookie wide receivers Puka Nacua and Tutu Atwell, both almost 200 receiving yards on the year. Then Kyron Williams, the running back, he has solidified himself as the lead back. And then the Bengals' offensive line hasn't looked good. Joe Burrow hasn't looked good. I don't think the Bengals are going to be this bad throughout the year, but I do not think they figure it out in this game. Give me the Rams.
The Bengals are in trouble right now. They've started the season 0-2. Now, granted, they started the season 0-2 last season. And after those 2 games, they were able to get it back on track. That's what they're hoping to do Monday night. But I will say this. No team in the NFL has went 0-3 to start the season and still made the playoffs since the NFL realignment in 2002. So if they go 0-3, stats are not on their side. I think it's a lot on Joe Burrow right now in this injury. It's a calf injury. He can't really move around that well, and they need that with this offensive line. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if he plays. If he plays, I think they get the win and they get back on track. If not, the Bengals start 0-3, and that's not a place that they want to be. Now, that'll be all from us, but stay where you are. When we come back, we'll hear from App State volleyball player Lulu Ambrose.
I'm here today with
I'm Lulu Ambrose. I'm a junior outside hitter. I'm a marketing major from Fort Mill, South Carolina.
Gotcha. So starting off, let's just get right into it. What has the season been like so far?
We started off so strong, well, continuing strong, but we are 9-2, so we just came off a weekend of 2 losses, but the losses were awesome. We played some really high-level teams. We played Wake, which is in the ACC. We took them to 5. And other than that, we were undefeated. We were 9-0, like on a high for 3 or 4 weeks. So it was awesome to have a pre-conference like that and just the confidence to go into this next part of our season with those wins under our belt. And also those losses, like I feel like it's good for us that we had those this past weekend to like, it kind of exposed what we need to work on and shows us what we need to get better at.
Definitely. So I know you guys played Davidson and it went 5 sets, correct?
Davidson went 4.
4 sets.
Yes, Davidson
So
went 4.
in the past, I know you guys have gone to 5 sets. What has been that last set? Like what has caused you guys to push ahead to come out victorious?
Yeah, we love 5-setters. Like you can ask anybody on our team. We call ourselves the 5th set Mountaineers. It's a little slang thing we have. But it's just like we love to play volleyball. We always say as long as it takes. So if it takes the 5th set, 3 hours, whatever it is, we just dig deep and they're like, we're here and we're gonna fight it out and we're gonna make them work harder than us, and we don't think anybody can work harder than us in the 5th set.
Yeah, I think the mindset is definitely what pushes some teams ahead of others, and that's why I think you guys will go far in the Sun Belt. What game are you looking forward to most heading into the next couple of weeks?
I would say this weekend. JMU's an awesome team. They went to the NCAA tournament last year. They're a really high-level team, and last year we didn't do too hot against them, and so I feel like this year we've been focused on this weekend for a while, and we're just excited to show what we've been working on and how hard we've worked. So I'd say this weekend, Georgia Southern, always a rival, so always Georgia Southern. And other than that, just every weekend we get to play on our home court. We love our Terraflex. We're so happy we got that. So any home weekend and then those 2 weekends.
Yeah, so this season has definitely been a standout. Are you guys expecting a lot of spectators?
Yeah, we are. Like I said, 9-0, undefeated. I'm pretty sure we were like 14 undefeated teams in the country at one point. But yeah, we're hoping for a lot of spectators. We love it. It's awesome. We love all the little kids. We had Education Day the other day at one of our games, and it was awesome. There was like 800 kids or something, and it was so fun. So we're hoping for a lot of spectators. We love it. We love all the noise, and we love when they annoy the other team.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. The atmosphere of volleyball is definitely something that makes it stick out compared to other sports. And it's great that people are starting to actually go to the matches for the game, because it's one of the sports that doesn't get enough attention that it deserves.
Yeah.
So take us through one of your days. What do you do to prepare for a game day?
Let's see, game day. Come Friday, I'll wake up normally. We do go to classes all day Friday up until 2, so we're in a normal flow. And then I think we have serve and pass around 2, so we'll come in, we'll do our serve and pass for an hour. We'll eat a pregame meal as a team, and we'll go over some film in the film room as a team as well. So we're all together all day once we hit like 1 or 2 o'clock. And then all the girls will normally go get like a coffee or an energy drink. That's one of our favorite game day rituals. 7 Brew's our favorite. And then we'll come back, we'll do hair and makeup. That's also a girls thing, we love that. We have team hairstylists, so we love that. And then we'll start our 45-minute game warm-up, and then we're good to go.
Gotcha. Do you personally have any game rituals that set you apart from the girls on the team?
Last year, I don't know about this year because it's kind of been pre-conference, so I haven't really started anything. Last year, I would get a Trenta from Starbucks, and like that was my thing. Like if I didn't have that, like I don't know how the game would go. This year, I don't know. I'm doing the slick back hairstyle. I know it's like a trend right now. The slick back high ponies, so that's kind of been my thing this year. I don't know. We'll see.
Gotcha. And then it seems like the team has a lot of chemistry. Who are some of your favorite girls and why?
Everybody's my favorite. I literally love my team. Sarah and our coaches do an awesome job recruiting. We're all involved. But my best friend Alexis is my roommate. McCall took her 5th year. That's one of my best friends. People say we look alike or we're sisters, and we're like, we don't think that at all. Sophie and Maddie, like literally everybody's my favorite. All the freshmen, all the sophomores, like we're just like one big team. I don't feel like there's any cliques. We just, like I said, our coaches do an awesome job recruiting, and we always have a say in who comes into our program. And so I think that's a big part into why we're such a good team with strong bonds.
Yeah. So since you're such a strong team, communication is definitely a big part in it. Is there a difference between the communication on court as to off of court?
This year we made it a point, we talk about teammateship, and so teammateship is between you and your teammate, and that's different than a friendship. So with everybody, regardless if you're friends, you have to have teammateship. And that's respect, that's honoring what they ask, what they need, and that's a big part. So regardless if you get along on and off the court, whatever, like you have to, or off the court, you have to get along on the court, and that's teammateship, and that's what'll win games. We don't want something relationship-wise to get in the middle of us in a fifth set, 13-15 or 13-14. Like we take pride in that, and everybody on our team respects one another in that way. So it's awesome, and Sarah, our coach, does an awesome job instilling that in us. Like she's awesome we do a lot of Team Tuesdays and PowerPoints of like teammateship and relationships and stuff like that. So it's definitely helped.
Yeah. So you guys were 9-0. How did that feel?
It was awesome. I've never experienced that, obviously, and we never really felt the pressure. Our coaches did an awesome job of like, regardless of the teams we were playing, like winning's hard. So whether it was a team that's maybe not at our level or whatever, like winning is hard regardless of the level. And so every win we celebrated like we just beat JMU or we just beat Nebraska or whatever. And when we went into our next match, we felt no pressure. Like losing was we were never scared to lose. So I think that was a big part in how we were 9-0 or undefeated for as long as we were. So I think it was so fun, and like I said, the 2 losses we needed, not that we needed, but we needed to feel what it felt like to be put in those positions coming into this big weekend versus JMU.
Yeah, absolutely. You never know what you have until you don't have it anymore.
Exactly.
What is one word you would use to describe the current team?
Our big word this year, which I love, is teamness. I kind of said it about the teammateship and whatever, but teamness is a big rock for us this year, and that goes for anywhere we are, whether it's at the football game, in the weight room, off the court, on the court. Like we're a team, and whatever it takes to do that, to show that, we're gonna do. So I think teamness is our word this year.
Gotcha. And then finally, how does it feel going into this weekend?
Going into this weekend, we were just talking about it out there, but we're excited. We put in hard work. We love it, and there's no pressure. Nothing's too big, nothing's too small. Sarah always says that. She's gonna love that I said that. And we're just gonna prepare and bring our confidence on game day.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so much. That is all the time we have.
Thank you.
What brings us to mountains? Is it the possibilities that await us at the top? Are we looking forward to how the challenge will mold us, transform us? Maybe the mountain is inside all of us. After all, we are Mountaineers. Appalachian State University.
Welcome back to the A-Game. I'm Noah Cornelius. To my right is Paula McKenna, and it's time to run down the mountain. This is when we cover our top 10 sports stories of the week. Paula, it's all you, girl. Kick us off.
All right, so we just heard from Lulu Ambrose. Let's continue the conversation about App State's women's volleyball. The team was one of the 14 NCAA Division I programs that had an undefeated record following the first 3 weeks of the season. The team came out hungry, and just because they now have 2 losses on their record doesn't mean they've given up. We heard Lulu talk about the team and the chemistry. It shows on the court. Volleyball has one of the best atmospheres when it comes to sports, and we all need to show and support this explosive team. The Sun Belt Conference games are just getting started. You have plenty of chances to catch the girls in action over the next couple of weeks. In the Sun Belt Conference, there are teams like James Madison, Coastal, Georgia State, ULM, Marshall, and a few others. This squad is making a run to be conference champs, and you do not want to miss it. Noah, what are your thoughts about this volleyball team's explosive start to the year?
I think they're great. Look, these girls are playing hard, and you know what? I expect them to play even harder and win even more games. Now, the Panthers were defeated by the New Orleans Saints at Bank of America Stadium on Monday. But despite the 2017 box score, the Panthers weren't even close to winning this game. Bryce Young completed 22 of 33 passes for just 153 yards and 1 touchdown and was sacked 4 times. I guess the only silver lining from this game is that he led a 75-yard touchdown drive during garbage time and even completed a savvy 2-point conversion to cut the lead to 3. But after a failed onside kick recovery, the Saints firmly won the game by the hands of their incredible defense. The Saints allowed just 239 yards of total offense and had a chokehold on the run game. And on the offensive end, former Raider Derek Carr wasn't the most glamorous, but rags to riches running back Tony Jones Jr., who scored 2 touchdowns, and Chris Olave picked up their slack for a great offensive showing for the Saints. Paula, do you think fans need to accept that the Panthers will have a down year, or is there a chance they'll still have a good year while they're developing?
You know, I think they can develop and have a good year. So let's start off with a bucket. The WNBA playoffs are currently underway. Asia Wilson is just what the Las Vegas Aces need because she led the way with 38 points. Not only did she set the record for most points in a playoff game, but also sealed the deal for the Aces' appearance in the semifinals. Let's take a look at some of those game highlights. So Noah, what do you think about the score being close at tip-off?
Honestly, look, in general, I love the WNBA. I think these players, no more kitchen jokes, none of that. My sister's a pro basketball player overseas in Greece. These girls are balling, and I'm glad they're getting their shot, and I think it's going to be an amazing WNBA playoffs.
Yeah, of course. More games are coming up, but at the time we're filming, we know that we will see Las Vegas in the semifinals. One team that we could see is the Minnesota Lynx. Earlier this week, they won, which forced Game 3 against Connecticut. With the game being home for Minnesota, I think they'll come out hot and potentially take a win. A possible final date is October 20th.
Hey, Liam, everyone in the control room, play me my theme music. Coach Prime, Shador, and Colorado continued their incredible college football run with the win versus Colorado State in the Rocky Mountain Showdown. Before the game had even begun, however, Colorado State was already starting beef after their head coach, Jay Norvell, took a jab at Deion Sanders' persona. Norvell, referencing Sanders, said, "I took my hat off and I took my glasses off. That's what my mother taught me." Somewhat indicating that Deion Sanders is classless, even though they're a 3-0 team playing in the Mountain West Conference. Anyways, shout out Cody Bear and Bear Down Bets because this was a game that probably lost a lot of people money. Going into the game, Colorado was a 23.5-point favorite. However, after a controversial and, dare I say, intentional hit on two-way star Travis Hunter from Henry Buckman, Colorado had to rally back late from an 11-point deficit to win the game into OT. Paula, now 3-0 on the year. Can Colorado keep this up even without Heisman candidate Travis Hunter?
3-0. I definitely think they can. I mean, why not? So the NFL has seen some nasty injuries over the last couple of seasons, and more keep happening. Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow, and on Monday night, one injury has taken out a running back until further notice. Cleveland Browns star Nick Chubb was carted off the field after suffering a knee injury. Chubb was hit by Fitzpatrick in the second quarter against the Steelers. During the hit, his left knee went inwards, and then the crowd could see him grabbing his leg. Chubb was ruled out of the game, leaving people to anticipate that he would be out for the rest of the season. Chubb experienced a similar injury in 2015. While he was playing for Georgia, he tore his MCL, LCL, and PCL. Many athletes are taking to Twitter to show support for Chubb, and everyone just wants him to get better. Noah, what are your thoughts?
And I just want to add today that they did announce that Nick Chubb will be missing the rest of the season. You hate to see an injury to any football player, especially a running back. And that video was gruesome, but we're not going to show it on the show. Shout out to our general manager, Austin, for this story, y'all. For the first time in a decade, an American has won one of the 3 Grand Tours in cycling. Sepp Kuss won the Vuelta a España by 17 seconds over teammate Jonas Vingegaard and Primoz Roglic. Kuss took the lead after the 8th stage and kept the red jersey, that's what the leader wears during the Tour of Spain, for the rest of the race into Madrid, where he celebrated with his teammates, friends, and family. His teammate Jumbo Visma is also the first men's team to win all 3 Grand Tours, the Tour d'Italy, the Tour de France, and the Vuelta a España in 1 year. And the best part, He has a very cute dog, like very cute. I hope he can add a picture and post, but for now, I'm going to toss it back to Paula.
It is a cute dog, though. I'm not going to lie, especially because he has his own little credentials.
Right?
So we've talked about fake football. Now let's touch on the actual football.
Oh.
The Champions League kicked off this week. Some of the first games showcased Man City, Milan, PSG, and other big names. One game that I'm looking forward to is Manchester United versus Bayern. I don't expect it to be a good game. Manchester United is predicted to lose. I hope they do decent because it's their return to the Champions League. By the time the episode airs, the game will be over, so hopefully Man U can pull it off. This year is a good mix of the traditional powerhouses. We have teams like Real Madrid, Barcelona, PSG, and Bayern. Manchester City is defending the title, and I do like some of their players. I've talked about them a little bit before, and I'll probably touch on them here in a little bit. So, Haaland and Foden. I think they're just a duo that doesn't get talked about enough. We will have to see how the Champions League unfolds, so be prepared. Noah, do you have any thoughts about it?
Fake football, huh? I'm not giving you the satisfaction of a response. Happy anniversary, Barry Bonds! On this day in sports history, San Francisco Giants outfielder Barry Bonds was intentionally walked 4 times in a 9-inning game, an MLB record, by the way. He set the record twice. I'm sure Barry Bonds doesn't need an intro, but hey, in my eyes, he's still the home run GOAT. I don't care about the doping, the documentaries, none of that. Paula, do you still think Barry Bonds should be the home run champ?
You know, I mean, there's asterisks by records for a reason. You know, he did it. People have their disagreements. It's whatever. Aaron Judge was going for the record. I wished he got it. It didn't happen. It's fine.
Ha.
So, not only is the weather cooling down, but the best month for sports is approaching. With only a week left in September, the time to watch all 4 major sports will be here. There's a game on every single day in October. It may be MLB, NFL, NBA, NHL, or NCAA, but at one point or another, there will be a sport on a television screen. For the MLB, we are heading into postseason, which means the World Series is almost here. The series is expected to start on October 27th. NBA is kicking off soon. Many teams are having their media days. Regular season tip-off is set to start on October 24th, with the opening games being between the Nuggets and the Lakers, and then the Suns versus the Warriors. The NFL will be underway, and so will college football. Been there, done that. Finally, the NHL season opens on October 10th, which is just a few weeks away. There's a lot of excitement starting in a few weeks, which, you know, what sport are you looking forward to most, Noah?
Well, according to you, I guess it's fake football because, hey, I guess it's fake football.
I would have taken you for an NBA person, personally, with that start in.
Well, and last but not least, NASCAR's round of 12 is set in their 2023 playoffs. 4 drivers were eliminated last week after an exciting night racing at Bristol Motor Speedway. Defending series champion Joey Logano, soon to be retired Kevin Harvick, 2023 Daytona 500 winner Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and road course ringer Michael McDowell were all eliminated. Now, just 12 drivers are left, most notably of which are Denny Hamlin, who won last week's race at Bristol, regular season champion Martin Truex Jr., two-time series champion Kyle Busch, and 2021 champion Kyle Larson. Bubba Wallace, the homie, the brother, who came into this race 19 points to the good, also barely scraped through by 4 points, completing the round of 12. Up next for these drivers, a Texas-sized showdown in the Lone Star State at Texas Motor Speedway. Paula, I already know you won't be watching, so that's it from me!
See, you always gotta throw Bubba Wallace in and all of your little friends.
That's
but,
right.
You know, have we seen any clips from them? I don't think so.
Well, I'm not gonna take an opinion from the girl who said football was fake.
I mean, hey, it is fake football. You know, the original one will still stand. But that'll do it for us here on the A Game. Make sure to follow us online at the A Game Sports and check out Watch App TV on YouTube to catch up on previous episodes.
For me, Paula, and everyone else behind the scenes, thank you for tuning in. And make sure to always bring your A game. See you next week.